All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro. Chris Wynn joining us on a Monday. Coming up here in just a few, we'll be joined by Michael Avenatti, the latest on everything involving Donald Trump over the last several days and really over the course of the last week. A lot to get to with him, so he'll be joining us here in just a little bit. So Republicans like to talk about Ocasio-Cortez all the time like she speaks for all Democrats, which she doesn't. She is a freshman congresswoman. I think she's fairly intelligent. And, you know, I think she is a nightmare for Republicans. Why? Because she is a strong woman who happens to be very attractive, and I do find her intelligent, and I think she is a threat to Republicans, and many Republicans see her as a threat, and she also happens to be a minority. So it's like a triple whammy for Republicans, and they bring her up all the time. I don't agree with everything she says. I don't agree with everything she does. But I don't think she's a bad person. I think she's very passionate in her views. I would not say the same thing about Ilhan Omar. I am not a supporter of hers. I think she said some very anti-Semitic things and some ignorant things. I don't find Omar to be extremely intelligent, but I do find Ocasio-Cortez to be a very smart woman. So you might have heard of this woman before locally. She graduated from UNLV. I like to call her talentless Tomi Lahren because I really don't know what she's famous for. I don't think she's very intelligent.
She's a button pusher. That's what she's famous for.
I don't think she's very intelligent. I don't really know what she's good at. She's written a few books. You'd have to pay me a lot of money to read one page of one of her books. I think she's ignorant. Not because I disagree with her political views. I just think she's dumb, okay? I don't know what she's accomplished in her life. With that being said, she has a right to dress up as whoever she wants to for Halloween. I don't have a problem with that. So she posted on her social media pages, she dressed up as Ocasio-Cortez. Nothing wrong with that. It's funny. It's a gag. No issues with that. But I want you, when she posts a picture of herself looking like Ocasio-Cortez on Halloween night, this is what she said on social media. She said, I decided to dress up as the person who scares me most. The Democratic dimwit darling. First of all, dimwit. I'm not sure what. I can tell you right now that Ocasio-Cortez is far more intelligent than Tomi Lahren. But anyway, she called her a dimwit darling, a socialist-loving, freedom-hating former bartender herself. Now, there's so much in this statement that is just so stupid and so wrong. First of all, what do you mean freedom-hating? I don't even know what she's trying to say there. But there's no evidence to back up that, you know, Ocasio-Cortez is freedom-hating. But it's at the end of that statement that really bothers me. And I see a lot of Republicans doing the same thing. Because you disagree with Ocasio-Cortez, you're supposed to be for the middle class. Tomi Lahren says she's a champion for the middle class. What is wrong with being a former bartender? What is wrong with working an honest job for a living? The real nitwit here is Tomi Lahren. Because, again, she talks about how she wants to support the middle class, and she's a champion for the middle class and the hardworking American. Well, if Ocasio-Cortez is a former bartender, wouldn't that be a positive? That was a hard-working job that Ocasio-Cortez has. There are so many Republicans on the right that go after Ocasio-Cortez, even elected politicians that go after her because she is a former bartender. We've heard Laura Ingraham do it. We've heard Tucker Carlson do it. It is absurd, it is ridiculous, and it makes you look very tiny.
Well, quick side note here, Brian, that also Tomi Lahren, I believe she tweeted out, I want to say either on Wednesday or Thursday, that it was a contradiction what she tweeted out. She tweeted out that she thought that the fact that AOC is a former bartender was actually one of her enduring qualities. She actually tweeted out that it was one good thing that she can mention about her. So there's there's just all kinds of confusion there as to whether or not that's something that she would consider as a positive for her or not. So that's strange.
I just
want to point that out.
I don't understand why Tomi Lahren and many people on the right want to go after her and think that she should be ridiculed for being a bartender.
Last time I checked you, by the way, you mentioned, of course, obviously that Tomi Lahren is a UNLV grad. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe AOC is a Boston University grad. I could be wrong there, but I don't think I am.
That's a good point.
Well, according to Mark Zuckerberg in the social network, she never had to do her homework because she went to BU.
Oh, geez. There we go.
Yeah. Hey, what was Tomi Lahren's job here in Vegas? Do you have any idea?
Her job?
Yeah, when she was in college, what was her job? What was her occupation?
No idea.
Because AOC was in college and she was a bartender.
You mean what was her
right?
major?
Yeah, no. What did she do?
You tell me. I have no idea.
Did she work in the club industry?
I would want to believe. I would think that she's probably a communications major because she is friends with. I have some acquaintances. Okay, that I here in Vegas that are familiar with her and were friends with her in college. And I want to say that she was a communications major, but I'm not 100% positive.
This is the day and age that we are in now, whether it be social media or if you're on Fox News or CNN. This is the day and age that we're in right now. You can say things that are completely over the top and ridiculous and get rewarded for it. And I'm sorry, I just don't agree with that.
Brian, you asked the question. Why is she famous? That's why she's famous, right? Is because she had those, those talking points where she would just fire away, right? And she would say things that are controversial.
She's famous,
and that's how she got clicked. And that's how she got attention.
Because she's well spoken. She is.
I don't think she's well spoken at all.
Okay,
she is.
Okay, she's well spoken. She is attractive, and
I won't disagree with that.
Okay, well that all helps. That all helps, and she pushes in one direction, and she's not just well spoken; she's extremely passionate. So her opinion is very, very aggressive towards whatever direction she feels is right. And,
so do you
think
she should
people
be
like that, especially when you're attractive?
Do you like the fact that she's attacking Ocasio-Cortez because Ocasio-Cortez is a former bartender?
If I liked the fact, I wouldn't have asked you what her job was when she was at UNLV, because I'm guessing it was something similar.
Which wouldn't bother me at all. She has the right to do that.
I wouldn't care. I mean,
so why is it that
everyone has a right to make their living the way they want to make their living?
I agree. We agree. So, JD, why is it that there are, I'm not going to say the majority of Republicans, but there are some politicians out there that disagree with Ocasio-Cortez, including the President of the United States, who have gone after Ocasio-Cortez for being a former bartender? I think it makes you look really stupid when you do stuff like that. And there are other politicians out there that have done the same thing that Tomi Lahren has done. What would you say to them?
I think that it's unnecessarily, talking down to people. And it's happened before. We talked with President Obama, right? They talk about him being a community organizer. That's horrible, right? For me, it's something that's done on the right. It's meant to downgrade. It's meant to talk down to people. And that's something that you shouldn't do, particularly when you're talking about elected lawmakers who are elected by their constituents.
I have no problem with someone making a living for themselves.
I think we all agree.
While in college, I mean, that's actually a sign of a
whether you're in college or
strong
not.
Work. Well, whatever, but it's a sign of a strong work ethic if you can, carry a job and be successful in school. So yeah, to me, the insult doesn't have a lot of weight.
What do you guys think about this? I'll take some calls now. What do you guys think about Tomi Talentless Lahren going after Ocasio-Cortez for being a former bartender? The president has done the same thing. Many Republicans have done the same thing. We'll open up the phone lines right now, 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the program, 257-5396. I also want to add that we are broadcasting live also on YouTube. Check out the Vegas Take YouTube page as we are streaming live right now. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the program, 257-5396. And let's start off with Mike. Mike, what's up?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. What's up?
What's up, Mike?
Who is Tomi Lahren?
She graduated from UNLV. She is a right-wing Republican pundit, I guess you could say, who goes on, makes the rounds on Fox News and other channels saying ridiculous things that are extreme to the right, just like anyone else would go on a network and say something that's extreme to the left. That's what she does, and she's written several books.
Well, she's wrong about earning an income. I mean, there's no shame in any kind of work whatsoever.
I agree.
I agree. I think we all agree on that.
If she was a stripper or an escort, that would be a whole different story. There's going to be some backlash with that. But being a bartender,
that doesn't matter either, because look in the Bible. Look in the Bible.
I'm just saying you could expect some backlash
to
for
marry
that.
a prostitute.
I can't believe JD's went on the air in Las Vegas and took a shot at the
listen,
entertainment.
I didn't take a shot. I just said you could expect some backlash,
which doesn't make it right. Which doesn't make it right.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know that.
Oh, it's all right.
But this is irony. This is the definition of irony with Alexandria Cortez. She wants total gun control, and she hates the police and wants to disarm the police. I mean,
what has she said? Hold on a second.
Like Obama said, is this the most peaceful time on the planet?
Mike, you said a lot there, so let's slow down here. You said that Ocasio-Cortez wants to, quote, disarm the police. Can you show me a specific statement that she made that would lead you to believe that she believes that police officers should not have weapons?
No, not now. But the way she has
then if you say no, not now, with all due respect, why would you make a ridiculous statement like that? Let me tell you what she wants to do, and
because of her past statements, Brian.
No, you're not.
on this channel. I've heard the news.
I understand, but the problem is you're listening to right-wing radio hosts making up garbage. Let me tell Mike. Okay, Mike, let me explain to you what she wants, because I'm pretty clear in what she wants. She wants what Beto O'Rourke wants. She wants the types of weapons like AR-15s and assault weapons off the streets. That's what she wants. Now, you could disagree with that, Mike.
Assault weapons, Brian. Every weapon.
Yes, I agree, but she never said. She never said that.
No,
Don't get hey, don't get caught in the weeds now. Don't try to tell us what guns are what.
She never said that she doesn't want police to have assault weapons. She's never made that statement. Now, she has said people like you and me, they shouldn't be sold on the streets. She has. Now, you can disagree with that, but Mike, here's my issue. With all due respect, again, when you make a statement like that and you say she wants to disarm the police, that is a right-wing talking point, and there's no facts to back. You can't even.
I just read that. That is the goal.
You read it from where? InfoWars? Where did you read? Just because you read it somewhere doesn't mean it's true.
No, not on InfoWars. It's in the news that Chicago wants to disarm their police.
Ocasio-Cortez has nothing to do with that.
And when what do you mean,
it's
Chicago?
Their agenda, Brian. In my opinion, it's a national agenda right now.
But your opinion is not valid because there's no facts to back up your opinion. Well, I appreciate the call, Mike. This is my problem with people like Mike.
I think your opinion's valid, Mike.
Okay, no, it's not. What do you mean it's valid?
Well, on this point, it's not, because he's not backing it up with actual facts. He's backing it up with just what his thoughts are, what he believes, what he thinks should be. And that's not the way it works.
He's more of a conspiracy theorist, but his opinion is still valid.
How is it a valid opinion when there's no facts to back it up?
He has every right to his own opinion.
I didn't say he has the right to.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants.
Okay, the facts that he gets are facts to him, and he gets them from people like Alex Jones, clearly. But
so how is that a valid opinion?
Again, to me, it's still his opinion, and it's a valid opinion.
Well, we know it's his opinion, but in order for it to be a valid opinion, you have to have some sort of argument or facts to back it up. I specifically see, this is my problem with conspiracy theorists on the left and the right. They'll say something that is ridiculous, and then when questioned on it, I asked him, I said, where has Ocasio-Cortez ever said she wants to disarm the police? Which obviously
Brian,
she never said
you're
that.
actually getting angry at someone for thinking different than you right
It's
now.
not thinking different, JD.
It's having a ridiculous
It's a ridiculous opinion.
Yes, that's what it is.
JD, you know as well as I do.
That is spoon-fed to him by someone else who's in the same industry we are, but who
JD,
uses totally different facts than we do.
You know as well as I do that Ocasio-Cortez and no Democrat that is in office has ever said they want to disarm the police. You know that is complete crap. You know that.
Well, I also
You're
know
too smart to believe this guy.
All right, well, was that a backhanded compliment there, Brian?
I know you agree with me on this. Why can't you admit that?
I'm just saying he has his own opinion, and that's fine, and he doesn't get it from us. That's okay. Move forward. Not a big deal.
I don't care where he gets it
think
from.
it is
it's
a
just
big
an
deal.
opinion that's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with where he got it from or who he's listening to or what he's saying. He's the one that mentioned it on the air. He came on the radio and mentioned it, and it's a ridiculous
Here's
opinion.
my problem. When somebody on a national show like a Tucker Carlson or a Laura Ingraham, who I could picture maybe saying something ignorant like that, people like Mike believe it, and then they talk about it, and it could affect the way they vote. It is important. It is our responsibility.
Okay, on the same side of things, when someone on a left-wing media or
It's the same thing.
says that Donald Trump is a giant racist who wants to be the next Stalin, same thing. Exactly.
I agree. It doesn't. But I wouldn't. But here's the difference between you and me, JD. I wouldn't say their opinion is valid if they said something like that. You're saying that an opinion is valid of someone that believes that Ocasio-Cortez wants to disarm the police. That's not a valid opinion. That's a moron who believes that, okay? And same to your point. If somebody compares Donald Trump to Stalin, I would call them a moron. They have no facts to back up. Now, if you can say Donald Trump maybe has said some things that could be construed as racist, I wouldn't call him Hitler or Stalin, and I don't agree with that language. For anybody on the left to use that language, I think there are opinions. Everyone has the right to their opinions, and then there are valid opinions. I think those are two separate things and two separate entities. That's what I would say to that. And it's sad that there are people, Mike, he started off the conversation. It seems like not a dumb guy. I'm just shocked that there are people out there that believe that sort of thing. There is not one Democrat that wants to take in office right now that wants to take every single gun away from you. There is not one Democrat that is in office right now that wants to disarm the police. It is a right-wing talking point. And when we talk about gun control, okay, and when we talk about red flag laws, and when we talk about assault weapons, the extreme right wants to make it like we want to take your Second Amendment rights away. And that is absolutely, positively not the case. It is not the case. And it is dangerous to think that way. And that is the point I am trying to make. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Doesn't mean that every opinion is valid, but everyone is entitled to think the way they want to think. My only point is, and I can only speak for myself on this one, I'm not always going to be right. I have strong opinions when it comes to pretty much everything in society, not just politics, sports, everything. I'm not always right. But one thing I will say about myself is every opinion that I have is based on something, usually facts, okay? The reason why I am not a Donald Trump supporter, I don't like the guy, is because of the things he has said, because of his history of the way he treats people, because of the lies. That's why I don't like the man. The reason why I was not a huge Barack Obama supporter, the main reason for me, I respect him, but the reason why I wasn't a big supporter is I didn't think he helped the racial divide in this country. I didn't think he helped it. But the reason why I respect Obama is for what I just said. Good father, good husband, good man. I think everything was spoon-fed to this man, Donald Trump. I don't think he really knows what it is like to live paycheck to paycheck. And for the people that are in office right now, many of them have a lot of money, Democrats and Republicans. I want people representing us that know what it's like to struggle.
Okay, so that should be a requirement, is to have to live paycheck to paycheck to be president of the United States.
Didn't say it was a requirement, but I'm saying I would like to.
But you will think less of someone who hasn't lived paycheck to paycheck.
I will think less of someone that is given a $500 million company. I will think less of someone that was given spoon-fed money when he was a child.
You just said something totally different. Someone who hasn't struggled, you will think less of if they're president of the United States.
Well, look, I'll make a comparison here, right, JD, really quickly, right? I have much more respect for a person like Mitt Romney, okay?
It's almost like he didn't know.
It's a person like Donald Trump. And you can make the distinction as to why, right? It's because of a lot of what Brian just said regarding President Trump.
Well, I'll tell you
he's someone who's not like Mitt Romney, okay? And I'm not a supporter of Mitt Romney, but I'm just trying to make a point.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to continue this conversation on the other side because I think it's an interesting.
Let's go.
It's an interesting conversation. I want to join us in this conversation.